D'Angelo is basically a legend in the neo-soul community, and today I would like to discuss how body shaming and fat shaming impacted his career. And a lot of this had to do with his video untitled How Does It Feel, which pretty much showcased his naked body. As the author Amy J. Ellis states, certainly the penetrating visual focus on the music video implicitly overshadows the lyrical performance of the song. In part, this privileged attention to D'Angelo's body and physical movement is symptomatic of the visual medium of music videos itself. Famed pop music video director Paul Hunter's repeated shifting away from D'Angelo's mouth while he sings is cutting back and forth between D'Angelo's face, torso, lower abdomen, and back so that the lyrics appear at moments displaced, if not dubbed over the video frame, only magnifies the camera's wanderlust into the erotic landscape of D'Angelo's body, appearing to convey disinterest in the vocal material. Hunter's photographic, if not pornographic, gaze slices away at the song's poetic intelligibility. To make matters more complicated, the music video version of the original full-length song from the album is drastically abridged for television and radio. This is par for the course in a music industry that came to rely on eagerly awaited, larger-than-life music videos as promotional advertisements for the sale of records. The abbreviated and edited music video, as well as the radio-edited version, appeared to the public well before the original version of the song was available for album, compact disc, jacket. The first two verses of Untitled offered a glimpse into D'Angelo's songwriting style and lyrical phrasing. These opening lyrics provide a picture of foreplay and selection that rely on a fairly predictable performance of Black male sexuality in contemporary Black popular music and culture. Confidently declaring his ability to satisfy his lover's needs, D'Angelo states that he can provide everything that you desire. He then continues with an earnest declaration, "I just want to be your man." If the lyrics seem uncomplicated, they are also, and perhaps paradoxically, quite hard to follow. The stylized phrasings of D'Angelo's words are akin to beautiful arrangements of garbled vocalization, a signature technique of his vocal enunciation. So basically, this video set D'Angelo up for life. He was not only seen as a sex symbol, he was seen as a motivation to many men, and he was also even a parody, like on the Jamie Foxx show. The album Voodoo was a commercial success, and it debuted at #1 on the US Billboard 200 chart. And so now I want to talk about more about how D'Angelo was objectified. A lot of y'all probably remember how a lot of women used to woo over D'Angelo, but it got really bad when he would go on shows. As Hargrove states, we couldn't get through one song before women would start to scream for him to take off something. It wasn't about the music. All they wanted him to do was take off his clothes. The catcalls had an undeniable effect on D'Angelo. He'd get angry and start breaking shit, Thompson remembers. The audience thinking, "Fuck your art, I want to see your ass," made him angry. For D'Angelo, who as Trinier puts it, isn't a sexy dude, but a real musician who wears glasses and plays video games, the objectification appeared to do lasting damage. "I didn't realize how vulnerable he was and how deep his issues ran," says Leeds. He's cursed now with fretting over how much of his fan base is because of how he looked as opposed to the music. It took away his confidence because he's not convinced why any given fan is supporting him. D'Angelo-born Michael Eugene Archer was also the son of a Pentecostal preacher. Like Marvin Gaye and Al Green before him, he struggled to reconcile his sexed-up musical persona with deeply embedded religious convictions. The whole idea that you sold your soul because you're playing the devil's music instead of playing in the church is also very much a part of his issues deep down. So as you can see, D'Angelo was facing a lot of things. It seems like a lot of it was spiritual. He was someone who was raised in the church and someone who was told, that there's devil's music, but he loved the music. But ironically, when he performed, he realizes his body was overshining his talent, and he basically got frustrated with being objectified. In a 2012 GQ feature about D'Angelo, writer Amy Wallace explores how the attention D'Angelo attracted as a sex symbol, particularly for Untitled How Does It Feel music video, tortured the singer. And so Questlove remembers D'Angelo telling him during the tour, "Yo, man, I cannot wait until this fucking tour is over. I'm going to go into the woods, drink some hooch, grow a beard, and get fat." I was like, "You're a funny guy." And then it started to happen. That's how much he wanted to distance himself. There is no one Black masculinity, no essential subject. So after the tour, D'Angelo was again deeply impacted by not only what was going on by the fans, but there were multiple deaths in his family, which all took a toll on his personal life. He told GQ that these losses plunged him into a dark period. This turmoil led to issues with substance abuse, resulting in his 2005 arrest for driving under the influence and drug possession. By the time he survived a serious car crash, he had already attempted rehab twice without success. D'Angelo identifies in 2006 that the passing of rapper-producer Jay Dilla as a turning point for him. This loss hit him hard and motivated him to contact his former manager, Gary Harris, who helped him connect with Eric Clapton. Clapton offered him a place at the Crossroads Treatment Center in Antigua, provided he could pay a $40,000 fee. Harris later disclosed that the cost was covered by Irving Ozoff, a powerful industry executive who didn't know D'Angelo personally. Despite continuing challenges, including a solicitation arrest in 2010 for approaching an undercover officer, D'Angelo secured a new record deal 18 months after completing a month of rehab at Crossroads. As Wallace points out, even then, in D'Angelo's world, nothing happens quickly. All these were contributing factors, but I think an interesting part of this fat phobia and just how people view body image is that while a lot of people do lose weight, a lot of people especially practice for roles or train for roles. And one of D'Angelo's issues also was that he did have a trainer, but his trainer acknowledged that he didn't really have D'Angelo follow up with maintaining his diet, etc. So his trainer was named Mark Jenkins, and he said that he put the singer on a strict diet before the Untitled How Does It Feel video. Jenkins tells Vice, "I had been training D'Angelo's publicist at the time, who was a real slim guy, and I put a certain amount of muscle mass on him to the extent where D'Angelo noticed, and he was like, 'Can you train me?' To his credit, he gave me control. So what I told him to eat, he ate. And what I told him to drink, he drank. We trained really hard, real intense training, and his body started to change. What I always tell him is, I think I failed you as a trainer because while I got you in shape, I didn't teach you how to integrate it into your lifestyle." Him rebelling and just not caring about his body for a while, I think D'Angelo being looked at as a sex symbol became the catalyst for all that stuff. If you can imagine, you're an introverted guy playing the piano, and the transformation took less than 90 days. So within 2 or 3 months, people are telling you to take off your clothes. It's quite a shock. I don't think he was ready for it. In addition to that, while D'Angelo was at the height of his career, I felt like a lot of people would shame him for being interested in Angie Stone, who happened to be a plus-size, darker-skinned, older woman. The former couple dated in the 1990s for 4 years, starting when she was 30 and he was 19. Now, me personally, I don't believe in age gaps like that. But again, I do think that a lot of outrage wasn't because of the age gap. I think if she was an older woman who people consider desirable, that a lot of people wouldn't have spoken out about it.
I heard that people were saying they braided D'Angelo's hair. They didn't. I braided his hair with string. With those people, it was just so much that I could talk about. That.
Hold on. Let me make sure I got that right. Because D'Angelo is known for them cornrows.
Yeah, I braided his hair with string. He didn't have enough hair when he did the brown sugar cover. I created that look for him. And I'm not doing that to toot my own horn, but if I got to telling my story, there would be a lot to tell. But I'm not interested in telling a story that really would hurt anybody, but just to vindicate myself, because it's a lot of stuff that people don't know. Just like things I'm telling you today, you wouldn't never know what it is. Like,
But anyways, the two collaborated on D'Angelo's 1995 debut, Brown Sugar, which the older divorcee co-wrote and produced, happening to be Angie Stone. It went on to earn a Grammy nomination for Best R&B Album. The comments range from Sugar Mama and their relationship makes me cringe to more serious claims of grooming and being predatory, with one detractor posting, 30-something-year-old has nothing in common with a 19-year-old for real. Anyone who defends this, I believe, would date someone that young if given the chance. A 19-year-old is still a baby. I don't care how legal they are. So Tracy Roy states, the focus on individual redemptive and change reflects a powerful tendency in contemporary American culture to understand people's problems or situations as fundamentally their own. That hate, their own responsibility or fault, and open to choice, control, and change, provided they are sufficiently disciplined and put enough effort into transforming themselves. Further, such an underinformed overinvestment in the power of individual effort ignores many factors that influence weight, including the role of stress, genetics, the effects of disease, disorders, side effects of medications, hormones, the body's built-in biological regulatory system, as well as the natural diversity of bodies. And I think, again, like the trainer stated earlier, knowing how to manage and regulate your body makes sustaining that type of physical appearance possible. But I also like to add that D'Angelo also just happened to get older. And I feel like a lot of people, when they get older, their metabolism slows down as well. So ironically, D'Angelo's last album was great. And he actually won 2 Grammys, proving that great music will always triumph. So I think it's really sad how, me personally, I did think D'Angelo was handsome. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. And I honestly also think that D'Angelo and Angie Stone were both beautiful people. And to me, they look like an average Black couple. But again, I think that when some people are considered very famous and attractive, or darker skinned men, oftentimes, though they face colorism, when it comes to like beauty and attraction, a lot of times they get less criticism than darker skinned women. And so I think that had a lot to do with it. So I'm going to end by saying that the corporate negation of fat people perpetuates the notion that fat people should not exist or conform to something they were not meant to be. The lack of regard for plus size bodies negates bodily autonomy and seeks to dehumanize the person in an attempt to make others comfortable. Feeling negated is damaging to a person's psyche because it leaves people feeling unworthy and unattractive, which is dangerous. In our society, being desirable can be as valuable as being rich. Attractiveness gives people an advantage that can be used as a form of or a way to acquire currency. Furthermore, fat phobia, just like other oppressions, has material consequences that impact more than just negative reactions to their appearance. And I think it's very shameful for what happened to D'Angelo. And again, he is very talented, as not only does he play the voice, but he plays other instruments, and he has a stage presence and even writing ability. I really feel like if you haven't listened to Black Messiah, you should. I always value the music he put out. And me personally, I like his music more than his looks. Even though I am a younger millennial, I just think that we should care about people's voice instead of how they look. But again, we do live in a society that is very materialistic and unfortunately views the body as an object or something to be profited from. So that's all I have to say about this subject. Do you have a favorite D'Angelo song? Let me know down below. And thank you so much for listening to Books and Looks TV. I'll see you next time.